All right, today we're on lesson 3, and we're going to learn a new note, B flat. B flat is the fundamental of the baritone and of the trombone and the tuba and of quite a few brass instruments. Most everything is built off of this note. It's the lowest note that you can easily play with no valves, and it sounds like this. All right, so in exercise 9, B flat, you're going to play the long tone, and then you're going to rest for as long as you played that tone, and then you're going to play it again. It'll sound like this. Okay. And you can practice that just like that as many times as you need to in order to feel good about your B flat. Try to make sure you got a nice round sound, that it's not splatting when you start, and that you have good control of what you're playing. And once you can do that, you can go on to exercise 10. Exercise 10 is going to incorporate all of the notes that we've learned in lessons 1 and 2 and now 3. It's going to start on B flat, move up to C. There's going to be 3 counts of rest as you see the quarter rests, and then you're going to play from F down to D. You'll notice that at the end of the line there's a repeat sign. In lesson 2 we introduced that repeat sign, and that tells you to go back to the beginning and play it exactly like you did the first time. All right, so lesson 10 is like this. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest, rest, rest. Rest, rest, rest. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, stop. Okay, so that's exercise 10. Now, below exercise 10, you'll notice that there is some music theory knowledge here. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. They're introducing the bass clef sign, which if you read in bass clef, you're going to see this at the beginning of any song that you play. And all the bass clef sign does is identifies that you are indeed playing in bass clef. And you'll see that when you see that, you'll know to play the particular notes on the lines and spaces as they are in bass clef, which is different than treble clef. All right, after the bass clef, you see there's a time signature, and the time signature is 4/4. And what it indicates is this. It indicates that in each measure, there's going to be 4 counts. If you look at exercise 10, you'll see the 4 B flats. They're all quarter notes. And so you can count those up and you'll have 4 counts in that measure. And that's what that's indicating. The 4 on top indicates that we're going to have 4 counts per measure. Now the 4 below that, what it's telling us is what kind of a note gets 1 beat. And in this case, it's the quarter note, or the 4, which indicates the quarter note. And you'll see if you put 4 of those in one measure, or one bar, then you have a complete measure. There are different time signatures that we won't introduce at this time, but such time signatures like 3/4, 2/4, or even cut time, which is the same as 2/2, and they'll be introduced later. But 4/4 is what we're going to concern ourselves with for the purpose of this lesson and probably the next few. And then on the next, right by that, off to the right, it gives you all of the notes that set on, or in one instance below the staff, on what's called a ledger line. A ledger line is anything that extends beyond the normal 5 lines that you have in music. And the ledger line, of course, you see below the staff has the note E in it. It also shows us a sharp, a flat, and a natural. And a sharp is something that is put there to deviate the note that you see on the line. We won't introduce any sharp notes for a little while, so we'll save that. The flat is there because we're introducing the B flat. And since they have not put a key signature in this particular song, every B is going to be preceded by the flat, telling us that that B is indeed not B natural, but rather B flat. And they are fingered differently and sound different. So the B flat here, what they do is they put the flat on the very first note in the measure. Something to know about flats and sharps is that if you see it on a B flat at the beginning of the measure, that carries throughout that measure. Those four notes will all be B flat, even though only the first one has a flat in front of it. So that's kind of something that you need to remember, is that it's called an accidental, and it will carry all the way through the measure. So even if there's other notes like C's and D's and F's in between that B flat, and the next time a B shows up, well, they're all going to be flat unless something comes in to change it, is what's called an accidental. So we'll go into that later. But for now, we're learning the B flat. And so let's go ahead and take a look at exercise 11. And it's going to play all 5 notes once again. You're probably going to catch that there's something very familiar about this. Let's play 11 and see if you can pick up on what that is. 1, 2, ready, play. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So, so if you're kind of paying attention to what's happening here, you're probably going to notice that 11 sounds exactly like 10, the only difference being they didn't write the notes in the little head of the note. They're just, it looks like music rather than stuff with letters in it. And so we're going to get away from seeing that letter on the inside of the note, and we'll just have to be able to read and play the note based on where it sits on the staff. All right, so we're going to go ahead and call that a day. There's quite a bit to take in. Think about the bass clef, the time signature, the note names. Think about sharps and flats and naturals and what happens to them when they show up, remembering that they carry throughout the measure. But for today, we're going to stop on exercise 11. It will be very good to go ahead and practice everything up to 11. Play 1 through 11. Make sure that you don't have any trouble with any of those or recognizing those notes. And if you do, just go back to the point in the lesson that precedes where you lost track of it, and you'll be able to catch right up. Okay, so that'll be all for today. Have a good one.